Everyone. Pretty big week in AI again this week. I know it is only January, and we've had a lot of different breakthroughs, new models, and some news, and we're going to cover it all today. So let's dig right in. Okay, so a couple updates this week, specifically from OpenAI. A new feature was added to ChatGPT 4.0, and it's called Tasks. So now you can schedule tasks from within ChatGPT to set reminders for various things. Here they give a few examples. Can you give me a briefing on AI news each afternoon? Practice French with me daily. Remind me about my mom's birthday. So those are just a few examples. I will say, upon their release of this feature, it got a lot of demand. So they weren't really ready for that, and it actually went offline for a little bit. This particular feature, they got it resolved, and it should be totally working now. I haven't messed around with this quite yet, but I do plan to use it for a couple different things. Of course, all of us that like to stay on top of news, I do think that's a pretty good feature to start using it for. So I'll let you know how that goes, but that is ChatGPT tasks. This week, we also got a news update from OpenAI. They published this document. It's titled OpenAI's Economic Blueprint AI in America. Essentially, it highlights a few different points. Of course, the importance of AI and its various use cases. Right here it says the speeding up of life saving medical treatments, scientific research, education. AI can play a big role there. Military, unlocking new forms of creativity and increasing accessibility of artistic production, and also, security, making state and local governments more efficient as well. As we scroll down here, we do see a couple other points, where we stand. They say that, they think America must win the AI race. They're saying $175 billion is up for grabs right now in AI. Of course, if we want to pull ahead of other countries like China, this is a very pivotal moment. And a couple other points here. So this is the economic blueprint. It is on the OpenAI news page if you want to learn a little bit more, but they are saying that right now is a very important time and AI or America must win the AI race. So big update here from OpenAI. OpenAI's Sam Altman has invested about $180 million. Yep, $180 million to make an attempt at delaying debt. This was back in March 8th, 2023. But today they are now training a new model called GPT-4B Micro with Retro Biosciences. And apparently they are working on better understanding proteins, very similar to what we've seen with AlphaFold from Google. But this one seems a little bit different in its approach in predicting protein shapes. So very interesting stuff. It seems like Sam Altman is getting into the longevity game here. The partnership with OpenAI and Axios. OpenAI has made an additional investment into Axios, and Axios was launched about 4 years ago with a goal of bringing local news to communities across the country. The investment made by OpenAI helps them spread into new cities. They are saying Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Kansas City, Missouri, Boulder, Colorado, and Huntsville, Alabama. So they have expanded this partnership a little bit as well. They are also saying that with Axios and OpenAI, there are a couple of benefits here. AP journalists playing a key role in the process. For instance, Associated Press's AI driven tools have increased Spanish language translations, doubled Portuguese translations, and then there are a few other call outs here as well. So the partnership does look beneficial, spreading local news to more communities. Definitely an important step here. All right, AI and education, something I feel very strongly about. I think that AI tutors can play a big role in learning. Everyone learns differently, everyone has their own pace for learning. And oftentimes, in my opinion, I do believe there are a lot of fundamental concepts, especially early on in education, that may be overlooked due to, everyone's unique learning style. So I do think that AI plays a big role in learning, ensuring that kids and beyond learn concepts in their own way. And here we see that GPT-4 as a tutor in Nigeria, 6 weeks of AI tutoring equals 2 years of typical learning gains, outperforming 80% of other educational interventions. So think about this. In Nigeria, they rolled out GPT-4 as a tutor, just as kind of like a trial. And 6 weeks of using Chat GPT-4, which, as we know, is no longer like the best model anymore. 6 weeks of AI tutoring equaled 2 years of traditional learning gains. So I thought this was a huge call out. Definitely shows the potential of AI in education, and I'm all for it. Next update here is from WhatsApp. The title of this article here from The Verge is WhatsApp really hopes you want to talk with AI bots. And essentially, they've rolled out a few different bots. I believe this. Oh, let me close out of this. This tab down here where it says AIs, it used to be called communities, but they've since changed it to AIs. You can talk to various different characters. I'm sure everybody's mind is running at a million miles per hour on what this could be used for, but there are some good benefits. It looks like, a relationship coach, talk to about anything. So I'm sure there will be some people using this as therapy or just someone to talk with or brainstorm. They also have different pop culture people down here as well. So I imagine people are going to be making AI characters of various celebrities that you can talk with. But they are really going all in on AI character chatbots. This is Halo, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Halo AI. It's a text to video model, right? So you can type in a prompt here and get some pretty impressive outputs. It's not necessarily like a brand new model or anything, but they did add a new feature to it that I thought would be important to cover. So essentially now at this point, you can do what's called subject reference. So you can upload a picture of yourself and it will include you in the video. I haven't quite signed up for this. I don't know if it's free. It does look like they have a subscription option here, but the outputs look pretty impressive. Some of them that I watched, it looked pretty good, like feature film quality. Some of the stuff gets a little graphic, so I probably won't show it here, but definitely interesting stuff. And this is Hilo AI, another video model, and I was super impressed by this. There's some really impressive demos floating around. Update here from Adobe. I'll be quick on this one, but Adobe's new AI tool can edit 10,000 images in one click. Think about that for a second. So this tool was created by combining several of Adobe's Firefly-powered APIs for developers with the aim of making them more accessible to creatives who lack technical coding experience. Bulk Create is launching in beta today and split into two separate tools on Adobe's Firefly web app. There's remove background and resize. So definitely pretty helpful if you need to bulk edit. Here you go from Adobe. So cool stuff. Video generation just seems to be getting better and better. This is Ray 2 by Luma Labs. Ray 2 has been extremely impressive. I've seen quite a few demos floating around on this, but here it kind of goes through a couple of the, cherry picked ones, I guess you could say. But nonetheless, even over on X or Twitter, I have seen a lot of very impressive generations from Luma Labs Ray 2, and you've really got to check this out. This is Mattergen, which is being rolled out by Microsoft. Mattergen skips the trial and error process and goes straight to generating materials based on what's needed, making discovery faster and more efficient. This is also open source, so the code and data are open to all, meaning researchers and smaller labs can now compete and innovate without massive budgets. Microsoft is now rolling out Copilot to all 365 personal and family subscription users. So it's available in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and OneNote. And essentially, very high level, it helps automate tasks like meal planning, budgeting, slideshow creation, email management, and organizing notes. They did slightly raise the price on their, subscription model, upping it about $3 per month. with the addition of these new features. And there are a couple other features as well, enhanced AI capabilities such as designer integration. So now you can create and edit images directly in apps or via standalone the designer app using AI for tasks like object removal or custom visuals, and AI credits. So subscribers get monthly AI credits for these features, making advanced tools accessible to all subscribers. Google is working with the Associated Press to provide fresh results for the Gemini app. So working with Associated Press, Google will add a feed of real-time information into the Gemini application, enhancing the relevance and timeliness of results. This partnership builds on Google's use of accurate, up-to-date information to improve AI-driven experiences like Gemini. Google is in the news this week for coming up with a new infrastructure. Transformers have been the name of the game for quite some time, but Google is now introducing Titans, a new neural memory module that acts as long-term memory, complementing short-term attention. This allows models to handle much larger context, over 2 million tokens, without the massive compute and memory costs of traditional transformers. Models using Titans perform exceptionally well on long sequence tasks like reasoning across lengthy documents or retrieving specific information from vast data sets. These results often surpass current large language models with fewer parameters, making them more efficient. Titans, this isn't just like a model, but more so an architecture that could power the future large language models, in enabling faster training, efficient inference, and new design possibilities for AI agents in applications with extremely large context windows. DeepSeek, which has surpassed, ChatGPT 4.0 in a few benchmarks, is now available on the App Store. You can now get it on iOS and Google Android. So check your app store there. I did mess around with it a little bit, and the deep think feature is really nice. Allows the model to turn into somewhat of a reasoning model where it kind of takes a moment and thinks before giving you an answer. So DeepSeek V3, you can now mess with it on your phone. So super exciting stuff. I have messed with it and I'm actually pretty impressed with the results. Okay, so this is Crea AI. They've added this new feature called real-time 3D. So you can essentially drag and drop an image into an environment like a forest here, and you can go in and remove the background of your image, which let's see if it does that. Okay, there we go. And then we can convert it to 3D, and we see it's loading up here. This is pretty crazy stuff, as to do this historically would take somebody with a lot more knowledge than I certainly have. But essentially now you can do it with a couple clicks or prompts. So you can kind of talk to it here and change the background and scenery if you want. Okay, so here's our 3D model we just made. Is it exactly like what we had? No, but it's definitely here and I'm impressed. So this is Crea AI real time. And there you go. There's Bigfoot in the woods. Maybe if we make him smaller, he'll look like he's back here somewhere doing something. But when he's up close, he doesn't look super realistic. All right, so Crea AI real time 3D. Cool stuff. This is Minimax 01. Minimax 01 introduces a lightning attention span, a novel architecture that handles ultra long context up to 4 million tokens, 20 to 32 times more than traditional models. This enables unprecedented efficiency and accuracy for long context tasks. Both Minimax Text 01 and Minimax VL01 are fully open sourced, allowing developers to access weights and updates via GitHub, fostering collaboration and accelerating innovation in long context multimodal AI. Minimax 01 achieves 100% accuracy in the 4 million token needle in a haystack retrieval task while maintaining competitive performance on academic benchmarks, proving its value in both research and real-world applications. Minimax 01 is here and it's now open source. This is Mini CPM. Mini CPM is another language model that handles vision, speech, audio, video, and text input seamlessly. It also enables real-time bilingual speech conversations, emotional and style control, and multimodal live streaming, even on devices like iPads and iPhones. This thing is super impressive. They show a couple of different examples where, here, I thought this was a really cool example here. Let me see if it actually loads. But essentially, you can take pictures of things and say, like, what bolt do I need to screw down on my bike to help me lower my bike seat? What do I need to do here? Like, what tools do I need to use for this part of the project to build my bike? And the thing is, has the visual capability, so it can kind of guide you through it. Very impressive stuff. And again, this is fully open sourced. So it's a fully open source model available on GitHub now, and it delivers GPT-4o level performance for vision and speech tasks. They're saying it requires about 18 gigabytes of graphics memory or lower for quantized models. This is Unitree G1, another humanoid robot, but they're saying it starts at about $16,000. And the thing is super impressive. Here's a 1 minute video kind of breaking it down. That is Unitree G1. Again, it's $16,000, which I think is pretty competitive in the humanoid space. It looks pretty impressive, especially being you can it folds up automatically and it's really easy to carry around. Really nice stuff. Forest Labs, the maker of Flux, the open source model for text to image generation, which I actually used to generate the image of Bigfoot that we ended up putting in Krea AI. They are announcing a new fine tuning API for businesses and creators. So you can use about 5 images. You can get consistent branding images for your business. So I think this is going to have a pretty big impact here. They show a couple of different examples, but just thought I would cover this quickly. I believe it's Francois Chalet. So Francois Chalet is a individual who founded the Arc Prize Foundation, which is a set of benchmarks that OpenAI used to test some of their frontier and reasoning models like O3. Francois Chalet has since launched NDEA, I believe it is, which is a startup focused on developing and operationalizing AGI. The company aims to create AI systems capable of invention, adaptation, and innovation. NDEA will leverage program synthesis, a method enabling AI to generalize and solve new problems with minimal examples, which Chalet believes is key to overcoming current AI limitations. It's co-founded with Mike Knoop, Zapier's co-founder and AI lead, and NDEA is building a top-tier team to push AGI boundaries. Mike Knoop has stepped away from his day-to-day role at Zapier to focus solely on achieving this AGI project. Land is a company that popped up on my radar here, and essentially they create natural sounding AI voice agents that can operate 24/7. They adapt the tone, timing, style, and they also support multilingual capabilities, including customizable personalities and voice cloning. It goes beyond conversations by integrating with systems like CRM and schedulers to automate tasks like booking appointments, updating records, sending text directly during calls. It also offers an impressive 99.99% uptime with real time analytics, dedicated infrastructure to handle high call volumes efficiently, all while maintaining security and ensuring customer data is stored in house. One thing I did want to point out about Bland is this quick demonstration. It's only 28 seconds long, and it just shows the power and how fast you can actually clone voices nowadays. And Bland kind of takes the leap here on the speedness of it. So check this out.
What kind of work do you do?
Yeah, so I'm actually a rocket surgeon.
A rocket surgeon? That's a unique profession, Noah. What inspired you to pursue that?
Whoa. I just always wanted to help the world, and I feel like it's one of the best ways to do that.
That's really admirable, Noah. So how can Bland help you help the world through your work?
Well, you kind of sound like me.
Definitely wild stuff, huh? Like within 2 seconds, the model already adapts and makes an entirely new voice. Definitely probably not the traditional use case of the model, but definitely cool to see how fast you can actually generate voices with bland.com. Okay, that's everything I had for us this week. Hopefully you all enjoyed these updates. Put a lot of work into it, but let me know if I missed anything down below or if you have some feedback for me. I'm always looking for that. But nonetheless, thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.